almost gave birth. These are strikes of retribution for Sumy. Local residents of Russia are weeping.
Hitting again. Hitting hard.
Fuck!
Damn. I almost gave birth. Oh, dear God. Oh, my heart can't take it. I can't.
Another one.
It's coming right at us. It's flying, and... boom. There's the plane, look.
And another one.
Shoot it down again! That thing! Ooh! Oh! Pasha scared me. That's a drone, not a plane.
And now there's smoke. Fuck.
And another one. Scared. Are you, Rashis?
I've got goosebumps.
Here comes retribution for Sumy.
Look, it's heading for the hangar! For the hangar! Fuck, look! Wow. That's something.
It's coming right at us. What is that anyway?
Did it fall or something?
What?
It's probably a house.
There was just an explosion. And it looks like the house is on fire. Whoa, that's pretty intense.
This morning, retribution strikes for Sumy. The Russians are in a panic. Putin rushed urgently to the Kremlin. Ukraine attacked the bases of Russian missile troops. Shuya in the Ivanovo region was massively attacked by Ukrainian drones this morning. The city authorities, who even had to block off some streets to repel the attack, report at least dozens of combat drones shot down. Ha ha ha. Here's how they were shot down. The target was the 112th Missile Brigade, which is based right in Shuya. The soldiers of this unit are responsible for the shelling of the city of Sumy last Sunday, on Palm Sunday, according to Kyrylo Budanov, head of the main intelligence directorate of the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense. Yesterday, Ukraine also attacked the 448th Missile Brigade station near Kursk. Glory to the armed forces of Ukraine named Toma, whose soldiers are also responsible for the deaths of 35 people in Sumy.
The enemy is in agony, but the people of Kursk are only becoming stronger, even more united in the face of danger.
Do you hear him?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Another one is finished off.
Putin is urgently rushing to the Kremlin, according to Russian propaganda TV channels. He's moving fast. Maybe Witkov is calling on the phone, or Trump is getting ready for a new honeymoon already in May with the Russian dictator. Like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Be happy. In the comments, write what you think about the retaliation for Sumy and about the work of our armed forces of Ukraine. Write a few kind words in support of Ukraine, the armed forces, and also let us know where you're watching from. We work for an audience all over the world so that they know the truth about Russian aggression and Russia's war against Ukraine. Let's get started.
Let's open the first message together. Because if you really, truly don't want to, you simply can't, and then eventually you can. If you don't want to, I'm fine. Let's talk about laptops again. Let's talk about goals. Oh, not too much, anyway. Agreed. Let me write it down just to be sure if I can...
Drones attacked the base of the 112th Guards Missile Brigade, which had launched a ballistic strike on Sumy. Russian media report that dozens of drones were spotted over the Russian city of Shuya in the Ivanovo region. The morning drone attack on the city of Shuya, where the 112th Missile Brigade of the Russian Armed Forces is based, lasted almost 2 hours.
They're coming straight towards us. Look, there's another one coming. Look, it's heading for the hangar, damn it. For the hangar, damn it. Look.
Looks like it's going for the 112th.
Well, damn. They're shooting everywhere.
Every voice matters. Join our community, support independent journalism and help us bring you the truth from Ukraine. Become a member of Ukraine today. Join us now.
After a series of explosions in the area of the military compound, fires broke out. Burn brightly so it doesn't go out. At first, at least 5 drones were spotted. It is claimed that one of them was carrying a high explosive fragmentation shell with about 60 kilograms of explosives. Boom. Bada boom. And right now, friends, the territory of the 112th Guards Missile Brigade is under repeated shelling again, twice in one day. This is the same brigade that attacked Sumy with missiles on Sunday.
Attention. Possible drone attack. That's what our morning tour and day look like today.
Online sources report that in Shuya, where the Missile Brigade is stationed, there is another alert. Will there be another strike? How many times has this happened in the past 24 hours? OSINT analysts have examined the strikes on the Russian Missile Brigade in the Ivanovo region. The Dnipro OSINT channel notes that at least 3 buildings were hit by AN-196 drones. Fierce, Our fierce drones are delivering retribution. Among the targets were the main headquarters and the training building of the military unit. The armed forces of Ukraine do not attack civilian targets, nor do they attack the peaceful population of Russia. The armed forces of Ukraine attack only critical infrastructure, military targets, and of course oil refineries, logistics centers, and factories that supply fuel to the enemy. Glory to the armed forces of Ukraine. A strike on the enemy's deployment point in the Kursk region. This is a carefully calculated strategic attack. Dealer commander of the intelligence unit of the armed forces of Ukraine. I wouldn't link this to the missile strike on Sumy by Russia as some kind of revenge. These are strategic objectives that are constantly monitored and awaited. When there is a significant concentration of enemy forces, as fire strikes are carried out. Right now, we are also preparing similar planned strikes, which you will hear about in the near future, said Denis Yaroslavsky. Ukraine has created a new missile called BARS. Any information about this development is kept strictly confidential. BBC Ukraine has uncovered details about this new Ukrainian weapon. The name BARS was first publicly mentioned by the Minister for Strategic Industries, Herman Smetanin, at an event dedicated to the Ukrainian defense industry. On April 11th,
according to BBC sources in the government, the Ukrainian BARS missile is not a state development, but rather the work of private manufacturers. It belongs to the class of so-called cruise missile drones. At the very least, that's the name given to it by the Ukrainian authorities, claiming that this is, in fact, their own know-how. Such devices are something in between a conventional cruise missile and a drone, most often of the airplane type, with a relatively small warhead, around 50 to 100 kilograms, and a compact turbojet engine that allows it to quickly cover long distances and makes it a very difficult target for enemy air defense systems. These missile drones can be launched both from ground-based platforms and from aircraft. In terms of its characteristics, the BARS is most similar to another Ukrainian representative of this family, the Kyrylo missile. Hell, that is what needs to be done with the Russian Federation, says the BBC source. The range is approximately 700-800 kilometers. Analysts describe this product as a so-called middle strike, meaning a medium-range weapon. According to sources, this missile has a major advantage, the ability to be mass-produced in Ukraine. Accordingly, Ukraine's defense forces may soon receive a long-range and powerful strike capability for regular attacks deep into Russian territory. There are no images of this product available to the public, nor are there detailed technical specifications. And at least 8 aerial bombs have been dropped by Russian aircraft on their own homeland, the Belgorod region, starting from April 11th, friends, meaning these very days. Hello, dear friends. The situation in the Krasnoyarsk district remains difficult. The military is carrying out the assigned combat missions. The task of the state authorities is to save people's lives. Most people, almost everyone, has been evacuated. Unfortunately, there are cases when people return to their homes across the fields. We already understand them, because they need to feed their chickens, rabbits, livestock that they raised, spent money on, and of course are expecting either income or use for food for their loved ones. Of course, it's a pity to lose everything, but dear friends, what's at stake? That is, we need to clearly understand that what's at stake is either people's lives or the life of a dozen chickens. Every family's farm is very important, but we will do our best to help solve all the problems. Never give up on them. You must not risk your own life or the lives of your loved ones, and you must carry out all the tasks set by the municipal authorities. Everyone is at their posts around the clock. Residents of Roketnyansky have questions. In the Kyrylo district villages, which have now been temporarily relocated to safer places, if, for the residents of Krasnoyarsk, 2,500 food packages were already distributed on Friday, then for those villages that are now in the district, that have now been temporarily relocated, such as, for example, lidokosheri, food, to pay for food, to pay for food, or food packages. For them, starting from the second half of Monday, we will begin processing assistance for those who are not in temporary accommodation centers. The information is with the head, Anatoly Viktorovich Klimov. Here the task for the governor is clear, of course. The information is 200. We will discuss all other forms of support tomorrow at the government meeting. Here, everything that is due will be provided to those who have suffered. We will hold live broadcasts as always, so if you have the desire or the opportunity, be sure you can take part in this direct participation. But the most important thing is that this information, after the decisions are made, will be communicated to everyone. So, the situation there is difficult, but for the fourth year now, we have been facing extremely difficult situations, and we try to respond to all challenges as much as possible. There are still issues left regarding the club and security, wishing all the residents peace and health. But one of the villages was attacked twice. This is written by friends, not by the Ukrainian media, but by the racists themselves. And in the past 24 hours, another 1,050 occupiers have become good Russians. In the past 24 hours, the defense forces destroyed 9 tanks, 13 armored vehicles, 87 artillery systems, 146 operational tactical level drones, 3 pieces of special equipment, and 1,050 Russians were wounded, killed. And now we will take a look at an analysis of Russian propaganda from these non-humans, racists, Putinists, Putinoids, or whatever you want to call them. What is the result of a ballistic strike, as they say? There were a large number of casualties among the military, but since they always use civilians as cover, yes, there were terrible tragedies, and civilians were also killed.
Narrator, and the West starts talking, right? That this is an unprovoked, brutal killing, that this is the destruction of civilians. Hold on. Where did the term collateral damage go? Collateral damage?
The Karabakh conflict, the Ossetian-Ingush conflict, the Tajik conflict, the civil war in Georgia, the Abkhaz conflict, the Ossetian conflict, Transnistria. It's just terrible. One conflict after another, non-stop. Why? And why didn't this happen under the Russians? Because Mother Russia kept everyone calm, fed everyone, and generally speaking, people lived well. Now Mother Russia is reclaiming what is hers and showing the world a different way to be friends, not by shipping away all the resources on pirate ships, not by raping but women, not by creating artificial famines. This week, the foreign ministers of the Sahel countries visited us. Yes, these are African countries that everyone had long forgotten about, but we remembered them, and we are simply friends with them. They came and they all gave us interviews. By the way, they all said that they watch Russia Today back home. Well, that's our kind of soft power. I'm very glad, very grateful. It's time for everyone to come home. It's time to be friends with us. I assure you, unless something completely unforeseen happens, with God's help, this conflict that's happening now will end this year. And we'll still see how new Tsars Heraclius will once again be on their knees, begging Mother Russia to take them back home.
And why do you think they do this?
I don't know. They're kind of, well, they used to be fascists. And now I don't even know. They're inhuman.
What did the guys bring you?
They brought diapers. Oh my God!
Detergent powder?
Everything for the little one.
Wow.
Why do you think Ukrainian soldiers kill civilians who pose no threat?
They have an order to kill everyone, just like they showed in Russian police. They were given the order to kill.
How do Ukrainian soldiers treat you in general? Be honest. Not because they're standing here, but really.
Very well. Well, not just very well. Let our people listen to this. We've never been treated like this before. Have Russians ever come to us even once? No. I'm telling the truth.
It's a very difficult topic, but nonetheless, what is known about the killing of children? What did people say?
Today there was a pediatrician here. Mikhail.
That's a cool name. Really cool.
They helped deliver the baby here, that's all. My daughter might have died during childbirth.
No way.
She would have died if they hadn't helped. You never know what could have happened.
Are Ukrainian soldiers?
They helped. A military doctor.
Well, the last time just now, when they were evacuating from Nikola Darina, the boy was 7 years old. His arm was torn off. A rocket hit them. He was wounded.
And what about small arms, like rifles or pistols? Has anyone been shot with those? What kind of weirdo is that?
Anyone who looks at them the wrong way, they kill them all indiscriminately.
Really, is that so?
Yes, honestly, it's shameful. Everyone, without exception.
My daughter started having contractions. Volunteers were driving by. I asked them to take us to Sumy, to find a military doctor there. They brought a doctor, and the driver stepped aside. That's it, they took us in. Everything was wonderful. They brought us food. So they brought, we had just arrived here, and they came the next day. But they weren't. They brought cookies, they brought sugar, then they brought tea. They brought all sorts of things, cheese, water. They came almost every day.
What did you talk about? Oh, with Fedor? You know, we call each other once a day. He calls himself whenever he can. He said, they told them not to take their first aid kits before that assault. Like, no one is going to come get you anyway. They said, how can that be? And he said, well, you can save one bullet for yourself at the end. We don't need 300. I don't know what kind of army tells its wounded to finish themselves off. They're all emotional. Everyone is on edge. What if there's another assault? Just in case, we said our goodbyes.
Now he's going to prepare the warhead. Don't touch anything for now.
Copy that.
Copy that.
Copy that.
It's coming in.
Oh.
Right here, for example. Adjust everything. Take it, connect it, and try turning it. There will be an exhibition of ours in Moscow. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Great. Control the altitude. Yes. What a range. Move it just a little to the left. Right now it's about 11 kilometers. The range. We made the whole journey with control. They're at the corner where it meets the big canal. It won't fly off. Just like that, we act as a navigator from Moscow, carrying out the control. We simply dictate where to fly using linear landmarks for orientation. Yes. What's below? The dirt road. So we go like this, right? Keep going. Straight ahead for now. Okay. Is the altitude okay? Is the connection stable? Yes? Everything's fine.
Look, the main road. Do you remember? Yes, I remember. Go more to the left, We've left the relay area. Come on. We're moving fine. Got it. You're on your own now. The flight. It was successful. The video feed was almost all the way to the ground. The connection and internet were stable. The commander hit the target. From Moscow to Moscow City.
For the first time ever, for the first time on the planet today, there was a combat use of a drone with a strike in Chasiv Yar. This is the recording of that first flight. We tested and checked two things. First, the ability to control with a mouse so that pilot training time could be reduced from a month to half an hour. Now, a person can literally master the flight technique completely in just 10 to 15 minutes. That's the first point. It's been tested and it works. And the second most important thing was to check the communication capability. We are located more than 1,000 kilometers away from the event site. And so the first use was successful. Now we are going to document it. The task we set for ourselves, control in the area, has been accomplished. We reached the target. For the test assignment, we rated 4.5 out of 5. So I believe that overall, the intermediate objective has been achieved.
And today, for the first time, my colleagues and I carried out a combat mission based on a new development, a new technology, called Orbita, designed to strike a target on the line of contact.
Friends, please like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Take care. Write in the comments what you think about this. Stay with us. Be on the bright side. Glory to Ukraine. Glory to the heroes. We will definitely win.